I got my rock star scarf here. You know, because I figure if but yeah, no, it's not really helping that I got the timer counting down the minutes over there, because you know, if you think about doing that in like a conversation, you know, if someone's talking to you and all of a sudden you start holding up signs saying how much time you got left, it's not going to be a funny bit. And I'm a nervous personality. I drank an espresso a couple weeks ago and had a 3-day panic attack and ended up going to the lung doctor for blood work. That's not a joke. People think that's a joke, but I did. I have the test results back there. I'm good. That's my intro, so that you guys know who I am, so that when I'm telling my jokes, you know where I'm coming from. But now actual routine is it's very classy. I think when we refer to people's asses, I think we should to make it a little more vulgar, I think we should call them butt titties. And I'm glad you laughed at that, because the rest of my routine is poop jokes. It's just not from there. No, because you could use it in really any context whatsoever. You could say, like, hey man, stop being a butt titty. Man, you're doing that butt titty backwards. This is not a sex joke. That's some guy was like, I don't want to laugh at that because I think that's a raunchy sex joke. But that's no. I'm a classy guy. The whole routine's not like that. I do subscribe to Playboy, but I read it for the pictures. The rest of my routine's a lot classier. I was reading an article. That's a lie. I didn't read an article. Someone told me, and I didn't want to look it up because I was scared if I looked it up it wouldn't be true, and then I couldn't tell you guys this, and it would ruin the entire routine. So this may be true or it may not be true, but I read that when America was founded as a country by, like, what, Benjamin Franklin, did he found? I read that they taught Latin in elementary schools, and that is amazing to me, because we didn't have Latin at my elementary school, but we did have a kid that rubbed poop on the walls of the bathroom. I thought this was just me. I thought this was my school. But then I started telling other people, and they were like, no, I had a kid that rubbed poop on the walls too. And it couldn't be the same guy, because he's not going to every school. Although there was last year at Kimple, there was a kid, I've heard, I read in an article. I did, someone told me, but you guys saw that one coming. That someone rubbed poop all over the walls in Kimple. And you know, this is like, these are two opportunities in my life to really fulfill like a deep childhood fantasy of mine. And people are going, oh my god, what deep childhood fantasy is this? But no, and that was, I always wanted to be Encyclopedia Brown. And no, I didn't expect anyone to know who that was, but Encyclopedia Brown was, he was a detective, he was a kid detective. He was kind of like the Hardy Boys, but just one guy, and he was kind of a pussy. Which, I mean, I'm not saying that in a bad way. I mean, you know, which I don't really know, but there was a good way. But, no, he wasn't. Like, the Hardy Boys would be sneaking around, they'd be telling people, you know, they'd be eavesdropping, they'd always get trapped in a net. I have no idea where the fucking nets came from. But every time they got in a net, they never got out. They were always captured. You'd think they would bring knives. But no, Encyclopedia Brown, he would just sit there, and he'd close his eyes, and he'd think it out. And then it was always some bullshit clue he found that would totally be thrown out in court. He'd be like, no, you had pigeon shit in your shoes, and so you clearly committed the crime. And you think, oh, okay, the guy's just going to be silent, and they're going to throw this out in court, because it's a fucking 8-year-old. But no, he always immediately confesses to the police, which was good for Encyclopedia Brown's, you know, detective career. But so I decide I'm going to find out who fucking pooped all over the bathroom. And I'm going to find it out in the next 30 minutes, or I have to come in for recess. And I didn't figure it out. I didn't figure it out at all, because I'm kind of a lazy guy, so I didn't really do anything to find it out. I just thought, well, I'll think it out, but that didn't work. The real clue should have been that one kid smelled like shit, but that never occurred to me at the time. So, I mean, I'm a lazy guy. I'm a lazy guy, and so like I want to influence political elections, like I want to be involved in politics, but I don't want to do any work at all. Alright, so I can't volunteer for anything because that would be work, but I don't want to feel like I'm useless. So I gotta do something that requires no work, and yet, in fact, will change the outcome of a political election. So I've got an idea. I'm just gonna get a Republican bumper sticker, I'm gonna put it on my car, and I'm gonna drive around cutting people off. I was scared to be silent, and they're like, ooh, bushcraft. No, because I'm afraid, I'm terrified, as I think most of us are, that there's going to be a draft, and I'm going to go, and they're going to put me on the front lines and give me a rifle. And I won't go into any battlefield that doesn't have an 18-second respawn time. So I'm totally out of that. but I've got a solution. I know how I'm going to get out of the draft, and that's I'm just going to tell my commanding officer. What number did that say? Or was that 5? I've got 5 minutes left, guys. You only have to put up with me 5 more minutes. I'm just going to tell my commanding officer that the only thing I like more than weed and cock is friendly fire. And I'm going to be sailing home on a sailboat. I'm going to be drinking my margaritas. Nobody's going to be putting me in the army, especially not in the back. So that may backfire, actually. Now I'm thinking about that because it might. Okay, topic change, all right? Because I'm out of jokes about poop and politics, which are 2 topics that go together quite often. Have you ever been to Walmart at 2 in the morning and realized 2 things? 1, there are so many fucking people at Walmart at 2 in the morning. And 2, that a huge portion of them happen to be babies without any clothes on. And that doesn't make any sense to me, because if you're at Walmart at 2 in the morning with a naked baby, you better fucking be shopping for baby clothes. Nobody's shopping for baby clothes. They're always shopping for like dog food and grenadine. And that doesn't make sense. It's 2 in the morning. You need neither of those. No one's shopping for food or some necessary item or like lots and lots of bandages, which would be reasonable, even with a naked baby. But here's a tip. If you're ever going to take your naked baby to Walmart at 2 in the morning, I got 3 tips for you. 1, never take your baby to Walmart ever. Walmarts are like congressmen, okay? We need them, but they're despicable, all right? I was supposed to say despicable, but we need them, but I switched that one around, so I'm glad someone laughed. Mom, thank you. I'm gonna get my little joke sheet out and see if I missed a joke. If you guys have any requests, you can tell. Now, my second reason, I didn't miss a joke, and I'm glad I did that in the middle of my list, because that was the perfect time. My second tip, I don't remember what my second tip is. My third tip is that if you're going to take your baby to Walmart at 2, my list isn't long enough. If you're going to take your baby to Walmart at 2 in the morning, just leave him in the car, all right? He's not going to get stolen, it's 2 in the morning. Angelina Jolie's not going to come by and take your baby. You're going to be okay, all right? I don't get it. Your baby's naked, you're clothed. You know clothes exist. You've seen them on other people. You've purchased them yourself. Just put them on your baby. All right, this is horrible. These jokes aren't funny. No, I'm joking. They're hilarious. Keep laughing. This is a little change of topic, but I'm going to close it out with what I think the worst possible breakfast would be. And I know someone's thinking, I was going to say poop. But I'm not, because I think the worst possible breakfast would be if you had bacon in milk. Now, and I think it's not exaggerated enough, but think about that. This is meat cereal we're talking about. That shit would taste like butt titties.